Did you vote for Donald Trump because of the price of eggs and the price of gas? You did? Liar. See, nobody believes you. We didn't believe you whenever you were on the interwebs exaggerating about all that. Nobody believed it. Everybody always knew it was about your hatred for other people, is what it was, and you was just trying to use that as an excuse. And it's real easy to see because have you ever watched a Trump rally? I have. I've watched a bunch of them. And they always have the same thing in common. Whenever Donald Trump is out there and he's pretending to talk about the economy and stuff like that, and pretending he knows how that works, or he's talking about, I don't know, a battery versus shark, or talking about Hannibal Lecter or something like that, y'all all sit around with this bewildered look on your face, like, what the hell's going on here? Hey, look, we're the same way. We always have that bewildered look on our face, too, when he starts talking like that. So that's perfectly normal right there. What's not normal is as soon as he starts attacking people, like marginalized communities, like transgendered people, man, y'all get excited. You get super excited. You get all cranked up. You start cheering and yelling and chanting. I mean, just getting boners, you know. Because that's what turns you on right there, because you're sadistic. Might be I don't know, a genetic defect or something in your brain bucket. Don't know for sure. But anyway, what I do know for sure is that's what gets you amped up right there. We all know that. See, imagine this. You and your wife, you're coming back home from church on a Sunday, and you stop off at the Walmarts, right? And you have to go into the bathroom and take you a big old dump, right? So you're sitting there in a stall, and it's driving you crazy because that door keeps opening and closing, and you can't figure it out. Does that person right there got a wiener, or they got a hoo-ha? They got a wiener, or they got a hoo-ha? Man, it's just driving you insane. And then you start wondering about the women's bathroom. You're like, oh no, are there any wieners in the women's bathroom? It's driving you mad because you can't figure it out, and you're obsessed with it. So then you try to distract yourself by getting up on your Grindr app and finding you some pole-to-hole or some hole-to-pole action or something while your wife's out there grocery shopping, because you are obsessed with transgender people. And then what you ought to do whenever that happens is ask yourself, when did I start being obsessed with transgender people? And what you come up with, about the same time that Donald Trump started running for president in 2016. Because it never even crossed your mind before, even though there was always been transgender people. And guess what? They've always been using the same bathroom. And guess what else? There had never been no epidemic of transgender people attacking people in bathrooms. Hey, but you know where there is an epidemic of people attacking children? Inside that church you just left. See, because the Baptist churches was forced to release their list of victims over the last, 30 or 40 years, and it was hundreds of pages of victims, see? And I challenge you to find one page of transgender people attacking children. See what I'm saying? It's brainwashing is what happened to you. Mustache Man did the same thing to his people. What they do, see, is they get you focused on a small percentage of people. A percentage of people, they get you focused on something that's so small that it has absolutely no bearing on your life whatsoever. That way you're not focused on the 98% of things that do have an effect on your life. That's brainwashing, is what that is. See, and Daddy Vladdy knows that there's a huge portion of this population that's susceptible to brainwash. And you know why? You know why? Because you were indoctrinated as a child. Because you were taught that if you don't believe certain things, you don't have faith. Like you have to believe that a 600-year-old man went around, he built a big old giant boat that was big enough to hold 2 of every animal in the world. Yep. And then he had to go catch all them animals and put it on that big old boat and feed those animals for 40 days and 40 nights. But you know what he forgot? You know what he had? He had green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants. As sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no unicorn. You know why? Apparently Noah was a dumbass and left the unicorns off his big boat. Or it never happened at all. See what I mean? You're forced to believe that, otherwise you don't have no faith. So you're already predisposed to being brainwashed. Now, you might think I'm being judgmental and that I'm going to go to hell for that, for judging you. I ain't. I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because whenever I was little, guess what? I had a creepy preacher man simulate drowning me in a swimming pool in front of a bunch of strangers. So therefore, I'm going up to heaven and getting me a sky mansion too, just like you. When little brown hippie baby Jesus comes down here, I'll run out into my yard butt naked. He gonna take me up, give me a sky mansion. I'm gonna have me some heavenly socialism right there with you, okay? But see, the thing is you have been brainwashed. And that's the reason why that you voted for Donald Trump again, is your hatred that was exploited by the KGB. Even though you don't think that exists anymore, that's what Daddy Vladdy is. And you were brainwashed. You were exploited. You were made to hate other Americans and hate your whole country. Enough so that you re-elected Donald effing Trump. So now the rest of this country is stuck in the same boat you are. If he don't go away in 4 years, if the institutions don't hold up against him and he makes himself a dictator, you ain't gonna like it either. You're gonna hate it just as much as we do. But the difference is gonna be this: we don't have regrets. You will. You will. And if you get to the point that you just can't live with your decision anymore, make sure you save some of them freedom seeds for yourself. Inmate Trump.